E3 Live, and if it's Tuesday, it's the Wheels in Motion show back up and running here in Chicago. So, let's take a look. So, what we got here is some high volatility. That's good, and I'm going to show you a few things about that. So, if we go to SPY here, so one of the good things about volatility is knowing the sequence and where to be and how to use it. Also, what you're going to see is that everything still trades the same way. It's just trading a lot faster, all right? And so once you understand the strat and all that kind of stuff, you can make your month and a day on some of these moves. So one of the things I tell people to do, and this is going to be a great example because I walked everybody through the end of the day on a 1 minute chart of the S&P, because you can see this range is gigantic, right, on a 1 minute. And I don't expect you to trade that. Some people will, some people won't. But one of the things that you want to be able to do is train your mind to see things 1, 2, 3 and what's going on, right? And so if you take a look at this, you're going to see this in here. Just keep following along, right? You see here, this was a 2, but then change continuity and goes 3 outside bar. Then a 2. Then this is a 2 up, all right? Because it took out the highs. 2-2 reversal right here. Back down she goes. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2-2 reversal right here. And so this is a great way to train your mind to see this on a short term of something that's very active. And right now that's S&P. So you can see the big moves you can get out of this. The 2-2 reversal here on the 1 minute, the low is 303.58, and this was 301, 302.02 on the 1 minute, and then a 2-2 reversal all the way back up, 2-2-2-2-2. 2-2 reversal down here below 303.70, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 goes 3 reversal, right? 2, and then what do we look for? Do we look for a 2 that goes back into an old 3? We do, because this is a broadening formation. So our magnitude, we're going to take that out. 2-2 reversal back to the old 3, boom, 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 2-2, 2. Inside bar, 2-1-2 reversal on the 1 minute, right back up, 2, 1, 2. This one, 2-2 reversal, triangles they out, comes back up. As soon as it changes continuity, guess what it's going to do? It's going to be an outside bar 3. And there you have it, right? Then a 2. A 2-2 reversal down, 2-2 reversal back up. This stops out these guys, right? After stopping out these guys, you stop out these guys, and then here you go. 2-2 reversal back down on the oneer. Boom, 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 boom. 2-2 reversal here, back up. 2, 2-2 reversal back down, and then we get stuck in here, inside bar, and this took this out by 2 cents, but it stayed inside the mother bar. You see that? So what that means is it goes compound 1. So when this breaks that, that's a compound 1. They both revert to an inside bar. Then it comes up here and takes these guys out, and that's all she had, and then she comes back in. But it's a really good way to train your mind on how to see this stuff, because then when you go to monthlies and weeklies, it takes forever to play out, or dailies, and you know exactly what you're up against, and you know exactly what's happening, and then you can use the short term stuff. In this environment, this is how it is, and this is what you're going to be looking at, and you need hotkeys and be fast and stuff like that. We also had a simultaneous break today on the 60 minute, and that gave us a clue to some of the waterfall. So definitely you want to watch 60-minute signals, because at this point they're like monthlies, and it was a little delayed too. You had the inside 60 SPY go down and then really get wiped down into here, right? But we knew about that because it was 60 SPY, 60 Qs, 60 diamonds, 60 small cappers. And so the great thing about this break was that it was a little slow, and then once it got going the next hour, when this was occurring, I have something called a ticker alert. So what that means is I see all the prints of anything printing the highs and the lows. So when you see these inside 60s across the board, I'm watching that like a hawk. And at that point, a lot of stocks were hitting the lows. And as that thing speeds up, I know these things are getting taken out. And that was a real nice wipeout going to the lows. And then it got that 1 minute, all that hairy stuff, right? So one of the things I want to point out today, I pointed out a little bit in the halftime show, but if you go back to the SPY Daily here, we always want to know what we're looking for. So in this environment, when the volatility spikes this high, right, you can trade almost anything because they're going to look like the futures, right? But so when we see the SPY falling apart like this, right, and then the first day of the month, right, this was Friday, closed out near the highs, right? So it's the first day of the month. So what's the first signal? That's why we say, what's the next 2? What will that create, negate, or do? This 2-2 reversal yesterday created a 2-2 reversal to begin the month with full time frame continuity to the upside and started ripping, right? So anything going 2-2 yesterday is something we wanted to know about. And the more that we saw, the more we knew it was not going to reverse on the day. No way, right? There's no way you're going to take that out. Now you come in today, right? There's a few things you can look for. So we start poking up in the morning and we get that rate cut and we go up into here, right? So you can, at that point, we can look for continuations, anything taking this out. We also want to be looking for anything taking out last week's highs, right? Because you're nowhere near doing that in the S&P. So anybody who's short last week, and we're going to get to some of these, screwed, right? You want to go after them and last month's highs, right? Because you're nowhere near taking that out. So when we come back through here, not only were we looking for 2-2 reversals to the upside, we're looking for continuations to the upside on weeklies and monthlies, because those are the guys that are really getting handed to them. So we come in today, and once we go red and start coming back in, now we're on potential 3 of this. And that's something we want to know about, right? Because we can expect back and forth action because we're handily an inside week, right? That's a 1, right? Unless you get out of here, we can expect we're going to be on this thing and maybe all month to try and get out of here, right? So once this starts failing and going red and back into here, first thing we're going to look for is anybody taking out yesterday's lows, right? Why? They got what they wanted. They had a rally, but their stock didn't go anywhere. But they can hold on because the market's rallying and still going, right? You know that feeling? Well, maybe it'll play catch up. But once this thing starts coming in, right? And so that's where always going to have my scans up here. And I can scan for, where is it? I'm going to pull this out a little bit. A little scanning lesson for you, right? You get out here, and it says yesterday, but it's any period. So if I do this and go like this here, daily, like so. So we can go after those things that are potentially 3 as well, but I want to know the guys who are in real trouble, as I pointed out in the halftime show. So if we go here, I scan by volume, then I scan yesterday's low, right? Then I get my list of everybody who was taking out yesterday's lows. MU, Snappy, Facebook, Halliburton, Space. This is your hit list, right? These are the guys who are in trouble. These are the guys who had this monster rally, right, yesterday, and you come in today and you're taking that out. That's a problem, right? So that's how you want to go after something like that. So tomorrow, right, when we come in here, how are you going to change this? Right? And like I said, we're going to be staying on the 60s because the 60s like a monthly. But the question is, we're going to take this out and go compound 3 of that, right? Outside bar just ran out of time. And then is it going to be weak enough to take this up? Because you got stuff like the transports doing this. They're right near butt lows. These guys went nowhere, right? That's a problem, and we'll get to that in a second. So because we're on such hyper speed, I'm going to go through some of this stuff tonight, but be aware, this stuff is changing in, I mean, you can see these moves in SPY in 1 minute. Look at this, 30 handles in 5 minutes, right? So in the water, right? So things are changing often here. So if we go to stuff like here, so we obviously got Regeneron here. So we keep looking at dailies and stuff like that. Regeneron was actually a 2-day up. And so you have an outside bar here, and it's still trying to 2 its way up to go take this out. Here's your 3, your 2-2 reversal back into the 3. If this doesn't reverse, we're looking to take that out at 470, right? So we'll see how that goes. You got GILD here, inside day, trying to come back up into this stuff here, all right? And so GILD, still inside week, and we know that. Still inside month, but green. So we'll see if we can get this Momo hammer here, because we know virus stocks, all that kind of stuff. And so we'll keep an eye on it. Like Marna here as an inside day, right? Even though we know, right, these inside weeks and months loom, right? But there's enough range in here that we can get stuff out of it if they go. And you can watch your APTs, and here, like Handley inside week forever, right? But it did go 2 back up to this. Today, so we'll see. Little guy today, INO, was very good to us. INO, we picked that one up on the percentage gainer list, and then when the market started tanking, look at it did. Outside bar, that's a 3, 1, 2, boom, on the 60 minute. Took this out at 518. Right now I believe it's up almost 9, it's up to almost $9 after hours. So that was a real good one, because when you see the markets tanking, a lot of people have a problem buying stock. But when you have something that's full time from continuity to the upside, inside month to the upside, weekly too, and ripping, all right, daily like that, and then gives you the 60 signal and starts going here, you got real buyers in there, right? These guys are not afraid of the market tanking, right? They're not afraid. They're in there buying the crap out of this thing no matter what, and that's exactly what you want. Very aggressive buyers. We've got Iova here, more in the bio, and this thing's still staying near the highs. We'll see how that goes. That's an inside day Momo hammer if they want to stick it to them. Like I said, if you're short this thing, right, the market's tanking, maybe you think that it's going to roll over with the market. But if the market stabilizes and starts going into the highs, we're going to stick it to you. If we go to IRTC, in IRTC here, and you can see this. Nice daily here, and you can see this doing this on the inside month to the upside here. Stick it to them. Now you got some exhaustion risk trying to go into new highs. But if you look at this, you're going to see the weekly. Last week they stopped them out, but good. There ain't nobody long from here. Boom, and that's exactly when you want it, right there. The 2-2 reversal right back up. We'll see if there's any more to come of that. We have a gold. And gold had a nice inside day today here. That was nice early, and then faded in the afternoon a bit. But we knew about that, and it was in the video last night, and JNUG backs off handily. And the good thing is, they'll tell you, here's your 62.2 right there. I believe that was an inside, right? No, that's a 2-2 reversal, and gold gave you the reversal. So you knew it was time to jump ship, and that's fine. Silver USLV did this as well. Inside day to the upside, so the magnitude was just to take that out, which it did, and so then you'll be aware of any change on the 60 and just kind of get stuck up in there. TLT bonds, and the bonds, remember this, all of this stuff was a compound 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months stuck in that. And then last month you got the 2, the 2, the 2, and the still 2 and a higher. Today, outside bar up in here, so the bond's still going. More little guys today from OCOOL, OCUL. And that is taking out last week's highs. Here, does it. So we'll see. Monthly, still inside, so we'll see. It used to be higher, so we'll see. Like I said, right now acting all right. And Omer, gosh. This is a little thing we call pivot machine gun. So anybody's been short this thing for a long time, they have to have a point of reference, right? Guess where they're short against, where they got in, and or here, 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 right through them. So when you come back through here with full time frame continuity on this 2-2 reversal, the reason that works and why you want to be coming back to previous ranges is because if all the buyers are taking the offer and you have stops in there, then the stops are running the stock in front of them. So they have to be more aggressive, and that's what causes something like that. Netflix coming in a little bit today here, right? You got your 2-day up, and they could usually 2-2 back through here. But in the grander scheme of things, still hanging around. It's slightly red on the month, but nowhere near with the other carnage, and you can see this. So we'll see if Netflix, if we stabilize. VIRT, and this, not only was it up last month, it's still going, right? So here's your 2-2 reversal here. This thing's still going, and it's been a lot higher. And your weekly just 2 in her way back up. Okta comes in a tad, but still a 2-2 week to the upside, so that still has our attention. So on the daily, you're going to get this here. It's still a 2 up, and you get a chance of an inside day tomorrow. And you can look at this something like, keep an eye on something, I don't know, a little bit like this. There you go. So still 2-2 on the week for Okta. BGS. And BGS here. 2-2 reversal on the monthly here. Above 16.14. You're there. See if you can get this thing to keep going. And you got a weekly that's looking something a little like this. Here. STNE. STNE takes out last week's highs, backs off. Here you can see like a lot of things. Stops them all out, backs them off, and so what you're going to see here is like so. Broadening formation. And the way we know that is because these 3 days would be an outside bar of all this on a 3-day chart, right? This to here is an outside bar of all this stuff, right? And they tend to get bigger, don't they? They do. So STNE, we'll see if we get a rebreak of the week, and it took out last month's highs, and that was an outside month, which is this, right? And on a longer term time frame, you get your outside bar, see? And then on a shorter term time frame, it's a broadening formation like I show you. So we'll see if it tries to get out of there. If you go to BAH, still handily inside month, but 2 week back up here. So for the rest of the week over 73.53 has my attention, and AYX. AYX just slightly 2 week back up, right? So that's got my attention on that. And now you got your outside day, and we'll see how it gets out of that. LITE, and goes up and comes back in like a lot of things. Potential 2 back down. For the week here, the weekly break is above 81.35. All right, something I'd want to know about. And Etsy here's getting closer to taking out last week's highs. You can see this, just stuck in here. 3 days stuck in here, but kind of just hanging around there, kind of waiting for a stabilization, because you could easily take out last week and last month's highs. CODX, more virus, you can take a look at that. How's that doing? Okay, so these things are mellowing out a little bit, but you can see 60's getting a little choppy in here, but I'd keep an eye on them. Downside, you got stuff like ADS. This thing's just been cratering forever, and this is just so fun. 2 boom, puke. 2 continuation, it's just going into oblivion. So far you got exhaustion risk because you are going into the lows, but so far no sign of life there. F5, also trying to take out last month's lows. This is Momo shoot. So anytime you're below here, 117.82, that's got my attention. So it's got to keep going. And the reason this works is that if you had any buyers in here or guys getting squeezed out short, the buyers are going to stop here, right? The last bastion of them, and if you got real sellers in there, it craters it. So we'll see. If you go to the transports, transport's still having problems, and right near the last month's lows. And airlines, and these are in the quarterlies. United and American Airlines are quarterly inside the 3-monther and down, right? So that's the problem there, right? So going out towards the lows and here. So now potential compound 3. Didn't have time to go outside, so 2 continuation. American Airlines, very similar, so we'll see what comes of those guys. PLCE, Children's Place, and you can see this. This is all it's outside month, 3-2 down, range expansion of the expansion. And you can see when you have something that did this on an inside day down yesterday with the huge rally, you know these guys are in trouble, right? So we can stick on these guys. You've got Zen. And Zen got stuck in the 60, I believe. Here, tried to get out. I finally did get out of here, but you can see this monthly, taking out the lows, weekly, continuation, puker, and coming back through a previous range, and that's what we like. Marriott, we got virus, nobody wants to go to a hotel, and here you can see the broadening formation, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, and boom, you've taken this back out, right? Because here to here is an outside bar of all this, here to here is an outside bar of all that, right? So still having some problems there, and going here, taking out last month's lows, and you see if we can come back down through some of that stuff. Macau problems, nobody's going gambling, and Wynn Resorts taking out last month's lows and last week's lows here. And you got an outside day here, so you got your little broadening formation to go on there. And of course you can watch that with LVS, MLCO, and also not Macau, but still gambling, MGM. Having some issues here with the outside day and taking out last month's lows. Halliburton. Oh boy. And so it's like you had your chance. You had your chance to get out. And then the 2-2 right here on the monthly, boom, right back to previous range. Taking out last month's lows and still going down is Halliburton. ADNT. ADNT. If you go to the monthly, you're going to see this. Two up, two down, reversal back down here. Below 22.89. You're there. DY. Remind me not to call my company die. This is on the macro list. There's an inside quarter to the downside, and that's why we pay attention to this stuff. And just every day it dies. So we'll see if there's more to that. INMD. INMD going after last month's lows. Weekly taking out last week's lows, so we can stay on that. And if you look, SEDG is interesting here because still inside week and right doji on there for the day, goes up for the potential 2 down. Hasn't taken that out yet, but those weeks will be interesting as time goes on. Let's see, Roku going to the lows. That was another one from the halftime show in Roku. Like I said, as soon as you're taking this out here, this is something I want to know about after yesterday's rally. In the broader averages, 111.33, and there you go, 108.62. Not that hard. All right, so like I said, volatility high, which means we're going to be changing gears a lot and doing stuff that's really moving. The good part about it is if you just use your discipline, use your risk management, get out when you're wrong, and get in on these poppers because when you get used to certain levels of volatility where you're watching inside bars and you're like, these things don't go anywhere. It's a little different now, all right? And I'm sorry, it's a lot different now. And so the analogy I use for these setups now is if you've ever taken a spinning top, right, and then you put it on the ground, and it's just spinning so fast it looks like it's stationary, right? And that's what will happen when you have inside 60s and 30s right now. But you touch that thing, it goes flying off the wall, right? Same type of deal is going on right now. So you can get these setups, use some shorter term combinations, and when you're right, you're real right, and then take the money. You don't got to be a hero in this environment, but certainly you don't want to pass up this opportunity, just like Tesla earlier in the year. All right, it's going to do it for this week. All right, we're back on Tuesdays. I'm Rob Smith in the Black Quant VT. I'm here at Q3 Live, the Wheels in Motion Show.